Hello everyone, it is Doc Hitchcock, and this is the Sailor's Gully puzzle by Tyler Williams from Beard's Woodshop. It is a relatively recently made puzzle that I just got my hands on this other week, and so today I want to solve it with you guys. And so before I get started, hey Dad, how are you doing? I hope everything's going well, and I think you're gonna like this one. So let's get into it. So this is the Sailor's Gully puzzle by Tyler Williams at Beard's Woodshop. The goal is to completely remove the dagger from the sheath. Things to know: no forcing, banging, or spinning allowed. Do not remove the handle as it is attached by pins. Keep puzzle in a humidity-controlled environment. Okay, because it's made of wood, we do want to take care of it. But one of the cool things is that it comes in this really awesome case. It has this little key that if you push this latch, the key pops out, so you can just basically keep the key with the puzzle and not have to lose it, held in there by magnets. So let's see, let's look at the front. We can see there's a nice little coin here. You can see some of the same type of feel that you get from some of his other puzzles designs. We have that compass that was seen in two of his other puzzles that we solved down here as well. And then if you turn it over, similar puzzle or compass here. Then we have a little bit of a grate there, which allows us to see somewhere through the puzzle a little bit. Same here. So I'm wondering how that's going to come into play. Also, if you look down in there, it looks like some sort of glass or plastic. So I'm wondering how that feeds into it. And then we have a little emblem of a sword here, a little hole there, which if I know anything about his other puzzles mechanisms means some sort of pin's going to go in there. Then we have some slots here, or little pieces of wood with slots in between them. And then we have our handle here. And if you look really closely, I already see that there is a little empty space underneath this brown wood piece right there. So as I'm pushing up, you can see it's moving. So I'm assuming that means that this piece here, yeah, see, it can move. So that kind of gave it away. So maybe, so I'm assuming, see, now that I've kind of reset it, it's a little less visible, but regardless. And then this one, it wants to come off a little bit, but you can tell it's stuck on there. So that's the point of the puzzle, is to get this sheath off of the blade. So I will say that there's a few kind of inconsistencies with the wood and the varnishing here. You can see that the varnish is slightly kind of patchy there, and then there's some, I saw that in the case here as well. There's some pieces where the wood's a little chipped out in it. But anyway, otherwise a good looking puzzle. So let's see what else we got to do to open this. All right, so the back here, I'm assuming the front and the back do the same thing. Yeah, so it's one piece, and you can see that they both move. Oh, I heard something there. So when I was moving that, something in there. And so I'm guessing these are the pins that say don't remove those. So I'm assuming these just don't take those off. But okay, I'm going to keep those down. Okay, so does it turn a little bit? See, it turns a little bit. Okay, so look at that. So you see there's like also a little bit of a hole there. So I'm wondering if that means that it's supposed to go from side to side. Look at that. So it gets stuck there. Is that on purpose though? Like, see how there's you can see the hole there? So I'm wondering if I'm supposed to, it gets stuck there if I push it that way. So I'm gonna leave it like that. All right, so I heard a little like tinker. See that? Did you hear that? Hear that? So there's something metal in there. It's falling. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think this comes out. Maybe it comes out. I wonder if this like turns, like if this coin turns at all. It pushes in maybe? Oh, there you go. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, it does come out. Oh, that's really cool. So number 11 of 28 with the Beard's Woodshop, Tyler Williams. Now that's really cool. That's a really high-end looking detail there. It's engraved into this metal coin. That's really cool. I like that a lot. All right. Anyway, that's really cool detail there. All right, so there's the clinking. I knew I heard clinking. It's right there. It's this little rod here, and so it looks like it looks like he's hammered one end flat, and then one end is not flat. It's like it's been sanded to where it's not pointy, but it's rounded. So I'm not sure what that means. Anyhow, was this? Oh, okay. So let's see. Wait a second. So by pushing that down. Okay, so by pushing that down, this handle down, I was able to push that in. And so when that's up, I'll put it back in. When that's up, you can't push it in, but when it's down, you push it in. Again, another detail I wish, like, see, looks like there's varnish missing from underneath of that mechanism. I'm not sure if there's a reason for doing that, but it would be nice. The finishes would be nice if we made sure that was even. Anyway, we have our pin now, and so I'm assuming that's what goes in the sword here. So I'm assuming that I don't need to mess with that anymore. Actually, let me push that down, and then I wonder if it going to the side does come to haunt us later in the puzzle. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. So we do see that he did beat one of these, or hammer one of these sides down to a flat. I don't know if that was on purpose for a reason, but let's find out. So this is likely where this goes. Well, that didn't really do anything. Let's see maybe if this flat side goes in here. So not as obvious as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk to stick this pin in there. Am I just missing something? Okay, so maybe on these little slats here. Okay, that's interesting. So on these ones here, you can't really get it in very far. This one, it goes nearly all the way down. Okay, let's see if that side's the same. No, this one you can't really go all the way down. Okay, so all of these, except for this one right here, is the only one you can go pretty much all the way in. Ah, so I was tricked a little bit because I thought the flat end would go in here, but it's actually the pointy end that lets us pull it out a little bit. Ah, so there you go. There's the mechanism. Is that wood? Yeah, it's a piece of wood. Again, there's a little chip there. So it's held in by springs there, so you push that down and it opens it up a little bit. Okay. All right, interesting. So it looks like this is enclosed. The blade of the puzzle is made of wood and enclosed by this plexiglass. And so here we can see there's another mechanism that looks... Ah, so you can turn it with this. Ah, so okay, so it's some sort of... Let me go on this side. Can you do anything here? Nope. Okay, so let's see, what's that? It's a screw. So you can turn it with this, but the question is, what does that do? So it looks like we have to line this up somehow. There's like a little wheel in there with holes in it and a little, looks like a letter C. Trying to figure out exactly how we're supposed to. Okay, so basically what I think we have here is, so there's like a little circle with a little gap here, and then you have inside of that a little, see, this is a horrible drawing. So I think what we need to do is somehow there's probably some place where we need to navigate a pin of some sort through here and then into there. So I just need to find where that pin is and see if I can do that. All right, I think I'm gonna have to take a break from this one and come back to it. So let's just set this here, and I will be back maybe tomorrow or later tonight, we'll see. All right, so I've conferred with Tyke, the puzzle beagle, because I was stumped. He wisely informed me that I should probably ask Tyler Williams for a nudge because I was not able to make any progress after many days and attempts at this puzzle. So I had set it aside for a good long time. And so finally I picked it back up, got a nudge from Tyler, and he informed me of something I probably would never have looked for. And so I'm gonna let Tyke go back to his 16th nap of the evening. And we'll get back to the puzzle. All right, so the reason why I was stumped was because I was trying to figure out how to work this maze in here with this brass pin. I was trying to put the brass pin in this little sword, and you can see that it does disappear and doesn't come back really unless you shake it. So I figured it had something to do with that. But what I found was that nothing was working. That being said, when I asked Tyler for a nudge, he told me that I should have two tools, not just the brass pin, but something else. And then he told me to look at the red handle. So this is where I probably would never have come on to this, because I did notice that when I pushed down on the handle, if you can see there, I did notice that there was a little cutout there. So I figured, I tried, when I tried pushing it back and forth like this, you can see it does wiggle, but it does not move. So I didn't want to break this, but he informed me that it does take a little bit of force. And so when you push it over with force, you can see now there's a little ball bearing in there. And that's actually the second tool that we need to solve this part of the puzzle. But anyway, now I got this little ball bearing. Look how small that is. It's a little teeny ball bearing. I am super scared I'm gonna drop it and I'm never gonna find it again. But anyway, but let me put this back, okay? So now I'm assuming this is as far, that was the only nudge he gave me, but I can already assume by the shape of this that it's probably where the ball bearing goes. Now the real question is, okay, then what do we do with the ball bearing after it goes into that? So you can see that the ball bearing does not fit into this little sword thingy. But while I was fooling around with this whole puzzle, I know that there's a little hole here that goes through this into this maze. And so what I'm thinking, now that I know that this goes down into there, is that maybe this ball bearing goes through this maze and then goes into the side there. So because of the way this is designed, you can't just drop it in the middle and it go right in there. You have to basically, even if you put, there's like a little bit of a, actually let me draw this out because I think it's gonna be hard to see. Get my handy dandy beagle paper out. But basically it looks like this. And so if I drop the ball into the center there, which is what I have to do to get it in there, then I just basically have to maneuver it through there. And so there's little holes in this so that you can use the brass tool to manipulate it to get that way. So I'm assuming this is the solution. So I'll just drop it in there and then maneuver it out that way. Let's see if that's correct. So I've already maneuvered it to where it's already in the position I want it to be. I just need now to put the ball in there. And, all right, so if you can see, the ball bearing is now exactly where I thought it would go. It's actually in that sword there. Let me get my flashlight, just make sure that everybody can see that. Hopefully, yep. So you can see the ball bearing is right there. So what I'm gonna do is now push it down into that little area and see if maybe that helps me to. I'm wondering if I need to push it all the way down to get the, oh, see now I can't close it. Uh-huh, all right, so it's, oh no, I don't know what to do here now. So there's a little hole there. I'm wondering if I should put this in here. Okay. Okay, so I have no clue what that ball bearing would do, but it's obviously doing something to where I can't close it now. So it's blocking something. The question is this symbology something I should be paying attention to? Let's see if I can get that ball back out. Okay, you can hear it moving around. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. This is still long enough to stick this down into. So I'm wondering if I do need to put that in as well. Oh no. Well, okay, that still comes out. I thought I had locked it up. All right, so maybe this means I need to face it up when the ball goes in. Oh, okay. It's out a little further now. All right, so I think that did it. I think I just had to turn the sword right side up after the ball went in and close it, and it seemed to have released it somehow. Okay, and you can see there's a little mechanism in there. Right there, I don't know if everybody can see that. It looks similar to this one. So it looks like somehow that ball released that mechanism. Okay. Okay, so now what do we do here? Could it be that little hole now comes into play? No. Alright, so what do we do now? Is it this? Ah, so maybe that doesn't have anything to do. Okay, alright, so that ball had nothing to do with that mechanism I just showed you. It actually just released the next mechanism. And I think this might take it out all the way. Oh, maybe not. It feels like it's being a little forced, so I'm a little bit nervous because I'm having to push it pretty hard, or pull it pretty hard to get it to come out. So I don't know if that's the last mechanism or not. Okay, so we know that there's a hole here, and I just pressed that to get it out a little further, and I'm going to try that one more time. See if it's the same thing. You can feel it pushing, so I think it might be. Okay, it came in a little further. All the way, there we go. All the way. Okay, so I think that's it. I think we released the dagger, and there you go. That is the dagger. Not as complicated as I thought. It was all because of this dang ball bearing. I thought maybe there was some devious puzzle I just could not figure out, but it was not. It was just the fact that I was not trying to break this, so I couldn't find the ball bearing. And once I got nudged there, it was pretty straightforward from there on out. So anyway, let's reset the puzzle, and then I'll be right back. And there you go, and we'll lock it. And that, my friends, is the Sailor's Gully by Tyler Williams. All right, so what did we think? What did we think? I will say presentation is pretty cool, right? I really do like the little kind of semi-puzzly box. It's not really a puzzle box, it's just a really cool mechanism to get the key out. I do like that. I would say, overall, for the price of this puzzle, I was a little underwhelmed with the puzzle solve. What I will say is I did love the very first part of the puzzle, which gave me high expectations, which was the nice quality coin that was in there. With the back of it had the puzzle number with the Beard's Woodshop logo and the Tyler Williams signature. I always love that in a puzzle, especially a limited edition. And then the tool underneath, and then from there it got a little bit expected. I didn't quite get what it was that allowed that ball bearing to release the second mechanism there, so I have to maybe go back and look and see what that was. But after that ball bearing released that second mechanism, the rest was exactly like the first mechanism. So I gotta say, that's pretty disappointing to me for a puzzle that costs $800, you would want to have a little bit more involved of a solve than having 3 of the steps exactly the same. That really kind of disappoints me. The ball bearing thing, it was fun, but I would say that it didn't make up for the fact that it was a little bit repetitive and a little bit expected for the price of this puzzle. And so maybe my expectations are too high. I'll leave it at there. All right, so that's that. And so what I would say is not my favorite of Tyler's puzzles, but it's not a bad puzzle. But I can't say as though I would recommend it for this price. And the thing is, it's a limited edition, so there's not going to be a lot of them out there. At least that is my understanding, because it is a numbered puzzle. That doesn't mean that he won't do another run of these at some point, but it does have, I believe, 1 out of 20 or something like that etched into the back of that coin. If you have this puzzle, go ahead and let me know what your scores are, or what you would score them even if you don't have this puzzle based off of the solve. I'd love to know, because these are subjective numbers. You know, we all have our likes and dislikes when it comes to puzzles. Also, if you don't have this and you can't get this, I hope you enjoy the solve through my eyes, and until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.